Hi guys, welcome back to the channel Neva Space. I'm Neva and today is actually the start of a reflection series. So in today's video, what we're going to talk about is me living overseas for 10 years. And I can tell you that it definitely changed me. Our first talking point is actually budgeting. So I learned budgeting the hard way. I was 23-year-old that just landed in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and for that first 2 weeks, I almost ran out of money. I did not budget properly. So the first lesson here is that I learned is that you definitely budget. I was in a furnished apartment for 2 weeks, and I thought I was not going to be able to pay rent. I totally misunderstood or didn't realize the pricing of food there. I didn't take that into account before I planned my trip. So definitely do your due diligence and look at everything. I also started to budget and prioritize my spending. So if food still is probably the most expensive thing that you will buy there, that's the priority, is to go through your budget and prioritize food and then rent every single week. I would definitely encourage you, if you are going overseas, try to learn how to live on a $15, $10 a meal, and that can actually go a long way. One of the good things about living overseas for 10 years, especially when I got there, is the cultural shift. So although it's in New Zealand, as soon as you hit some of the Pacific Islands, it is literally 3 to 7 business days for anything. The way of life is slower. Literally take it easy, stand walker. There's no rush. You're going to get there at the same time. And coming from America, not that I hadn't been other places, because part of my family is not from the US anyway, so not that I hadn't been other places, it was just coming from America to an island which I've never been before. It's definitely a cultural shift. Instead of rushing, because we're always rushing here, we always want to get stuff done, we always want to be productive. What if we kind of took our time and then we'll get to the finish line? Like, there's no need for half the rushing that we do here. And that's actually stuck with me as well. Like, let's take our time, because when you take your time, you don't miss the details. The third lesson that it taught me living over there for 10 years, is that your identity will shift. It actually shows who you are. When you kind of release yourself from projections and you go off and you do your own thing in your own separate world, or in another place on the planet, it actually kind of shows you who you are. So you're going to get tests that you wouldn't have had when you were at home. And you don't have that super support that you would have. Even though you've built your community, it's not your family that's there, it is you. So when you're by yourself and you can have that isolation, you kind of realize what your values are, who you are, and you go from there. You basically start from scratch, and that was eye-opening for me, because I remember first year I was there, it was hard, but it was nice because I could breathe. And I think one of the most awe-inspiring lessons that I had was that quiet can equal strength. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. So that's a lesson I learned from New Zealand itself, from Aotearoa, and also from my partner, my husband. He's Māori. Have a calm, grounded mindset, and you can still be powerful. People can still take you seriously, and you can still stand in your own truth. And that goes with a lot of the islands as well. They're very laid back. Just because you're laid back does not mean that you're not powerful. That's not a thing. Just because you're not loud doesn't mean you're not powerful, you're not getting things done, or you're not on a hustle. It's not a thing. That final lesson that really allowed me to kind of transform and be a little bit more confident and have presence than anything else. And if you lived abroad too, I want to hear your story. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you've learned for living overseas for so long. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Kakite. Bye for now.